Hello everyone, Rabbi Abe here. So we are going into the month of Taurus. Taurus is one of the most deceptively powerful months of the entire year. You must know why. Because while it has an abundance, probably the most spiritual light of any month, in fact it's called, according to the Kabbalists, Chodesh Ziv, the month of light, pure light. However, there are traps in this month which can have the opposite impact on you if you don't know and you're not careful what to look for and you don't understand the dynamic of this month. So that is what I would like to explain to you, and also to give you the necessary tools to navigate this month, downloads, free downloads from the rabbieabe.com website, which you will use this QR code for, and then I'll explain to you what to do with those things. So, the energy of the month of Taurus can either elevate you to new heights and also bring you healing, bring you enlightenment, bring you elevation, bring you above limitations that you've been struggling with for a very long time, or it can trap you and it can keep you stuck. In fact, it can make you even more stuck than you already feel that you are. We have a duality going on here, okay? So again, we must know how to navigate this month. Now, according to the Book of Formation, and that is, let me show it to you, the Sefer Yetzirah right here. And this is the ancient book. According to the Kabbalists, while there are different opinions about this, the true Kabbalists were of the opinion that Abraham, the patriarch, wrote this book, approximately 400, maybe a little more, 4,000 years ago. And he was a master astrologer who also explained how to change destiny. While the stars impel, meaning they give input into your life will be that, if you are robotic to the signs of the Zodiac, which means you're only responding and reacting to your life without having conscious awareness and being able to elevate above the nature of your sign, of your Zodiac sign. And therefore, it says in the Bible, and it's quoted, that God took Abraham outside, and he said, count the stars if you can count them. And what God was telling Abraham is, don't be limited to your astrology. I know you know that in your destiny you will not have children according to your zodiac. But you can go outside, and that's what God was telling Abraham. You can use the spiritual tools to not be limited, to elevate above the influence of the zodiac. So while your destiny says no, you can yes have children. So while a person's destiny might be no money, no sustenance, or difficulty with health matters, we can, not without work, but we can elevate above that destiny and change it. We can. We must know how, and we must use tools to do that. So the letters, according to the Book of Formation, the Sefer Yetzirah, we know there are two letters that govern every month. Two letters and also an angel. The two letters of the month of Taurus are the letters Pei and Vav. Pei and Vav. So the letter Pei is what controls planet Venus. Now Venus, we know, controls the month of Taurus. The letter Vav is the seed of the energy, the cosmic force behind Taurus itself. The constellation itself is the letter Vav. Now, according to Abraham, these two letters, while they have different aspects of significance, they are the DNA behind the month, but they also control other things. For example, the letter Pei is not just the letter Pei. We said it's Venus. It governs Thursday during the week. We know there are 7 days of the week according to the 7 primary planets, which are not all the planets, but the primary ones, the visible, revealed planets. So Thursday. Also, the right nostril, in case maybe you have a stuffed nose, and also the power of speech and breath. Speech and breath. So these are represented by the letter. When I say represented, I mean it's the energetic force behind those things. Breath is extremely important. Breath is life. Breath is also connected to spiritual light. So breath and, breath is what we're first giving, and of course, speech. Now, speech is also extremely important because we know the power in the mouth is awesome. There's an awesome power in speech. We can speak good words about somebody and elevate them. We can speak negatively about a person and bring them down. And even not only bring them down, but assassinate them. Character assassination, it's called, okay? We do that with the mouth. And that's a very difficult thing to manage. And there are many things written about this in the Kabbalah and in the different teachings, the power of evil speech. Very, very difficult thing to even fix when we speak slander, gossip about someone. I know we all have that tendency, but it's a very, very difficult karmic thing to correct. So we really need to, and this is the month that can help us curtail that, okay? But I don't want to get stuck in that. Now the letter Vav is the constellation of Taurus, and it also relates to, it is the energetic force behind the sense of hearing. Hearing. So hearing it doesn't mean just hearing, but it's different levels of hearing, all levels of hearing. So there's listening, which is very different than hearing itself. When you truly listen, it means you're able to set the ego aside to truly receive what's being said or conveyed. Doesn't mean I need to accept it, but in order to know, first I need to be willing to receive, and then I can make a decision. Yes, good, no, not so good. Also, hearing is hearing the soul, being able to hear our soul, which is the most important of all, because our soul is constantly giving us messages as to what we need to do and what we need to stop doing. Our soul knows the truth and is constantly talking to us. What's the problem? We don't hear it, either because we don't truly want to, because we have other agendas at stake, or we have blockages. We do have blockages. Our soul can even be screaming, the Kabbalah said. We don't hear the screams of our soul, especially when we do something, painful, when we do bad, when we act in a selfish way, when we hurt somebody else. It is our soul that screams and says, no, don't do that, because our soul knows the truth. But our body is in a different place, as we're going to learn, right? Our body is only interested pretty much in what I want to do right now. This is what I want, then this is what I'm going to do. That's the body consciousness. It's different. It's the opposite of the soul. The soul is an emanation of light that comes directly from the Creator. The body is all the needs and wants and desires of life, especially, and pay special attention now, because this is the month of that, especially all the pleasures and benefits and feeling of light and fulfillment in our life comes through the body, primarily. The body consciousness, pleasures, physical pleasures. Now that's what Venus is about, right? Planet Venus, love, beauty, and all of those, pleasure, all of those things are related by no coincidence. Why? When the Kabbalists call this month of light, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Let's think about it for a moment. I'll tell you, the Zohar says that a parent who doesn't discipline their child, it's as though they hate their child. Very strong statement from the Zohar. What does that mean? Well, what does it mean? Look at it in the other direction. A parent who spoils their child and protects them all the time and, never lets them experience any difficulty, they'll always answer for them. They'll always protect them. They'll never let them have a conflict or a challenge, or because they only from love and they want to protect them. But that child will never grow. The Kabbalists explain, and the Zohar says, growth only comes from judgment. the attribute of judgment. Now, there's the attribute of mercy, and we have the attribute of judgment. Both are part of the tree of life. Judgment comes from what we call the left column. Mercy comes from the right column. So love, mercy, sharing, giving, that's all the right column. The right, mercy, chesed, compassion. Gevura is the left column, which represents mercy, judgment, receiving, taking. Now, how does that play in? We only grow from lack. We only grow when we feel a lack of something or when something has been taken away from us. We only grow very often through pain or difficult situations. That is the greatest opportunity of growth. The tree gets stronger when the wind blows it in a hard way. But then it creates strength. Strength is built in the gym. Through what? Through pain. Through resistance. Of course, in the gym, if you're already in the gym, you want that. You're looking for that good pain to rip those muscles. Those of you who do that. Yeah, but life, we don't want pain from life. Of course not. No, we don't want that. We don't want difficult situations or challenges. We want everything to be nice. We want to be on the yacht with our martini. Yeah, it's great. And I'm not knocking it. But there's no growth over there. There will be no growth. Because as in the gym, as in life, if there's no pain of growth, and pain comes from what? Difficulties. That's where the growth is. And that's what the Zohar means. Of course, person to person, there has to be love with the judgment, but there must be this attribute of judgment, which means not always nice, not always kind, not always sharing. Sometimes you got to be tough. There's something called tough love. And those who we only give to, I have many students, and some of my students, there's somehow in the mindset when they're in a relationship, they should just give everything all the time, and nourish and give and give and give. Yes, that's a surefire formula for disaster in a relationship. Because why? Because no discipline, meaning what? No judgment, no energy of judgment means what? Eventually there's going to be taking for granted, entitlement, taking advantage. It has to be. If everything is only good, if you're only giving all the time, that's what has to happen. It's not only with children, of course, also with children. But you see, in the beginning of relationship, we have the highest level of desire. We're going to behave ourselves in the beginning. It's only after we get used to it and, it's sort of ours, No, it's never ours, and we can never own it. And that's why we have to stay in that state of desire. But if you're in a state of desire, you don't need judgment. If you're in a state of, constantly trying to work to earn the thing that you already have, which is counterintuitive, why would you work to have the thing that you already have? Yeah, to keep it alive. That's why, because without desire, it becomes dead. Everything becomes dead without desire. And if everything is always comfortable, you don't have desire other than, I'm bathing in the light. And that's why this month is a trap. One must be very, very careful in this month. The comfort in this month is a trap to keep you stuck. Every month has its duality. And the opportunity to grow or the opportunity to go down. It must be that way. This duality must exist in everything because we're here to have free will, to choose the growth, to choose life. That's what the Bible says. Moses told the Israelites, choose life. Here's life and death. Choose life. Why does someone need to tell us to choose life? It's almost ridiculous. No, because we don't choose it, generally speaking. We'll choose the comfort zone. And the comfort zone this month, every month to a degree, but especially this month because there's so much light. You see, what is a Taurus? I kicked the camera, sorry. What is a Taurus? My teacher used to say, a Taurus can be comfortable in any situation. Check it if you happen to be a Taurus. Any situation can be comfortable. Even the most difficult situation, the most difficult, let's say, mud, okay? But the Taurus will say, yes, I know I'm in mud, but at least it's warm. The mud is warm. Everyone likes a little warm mud, right? Right? So it's interesting because that's Why? Because this month has light automatically. But automatic light is a trap. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And that's why, if I am able to, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but if I am able to, whatever sign you are, makes no difference. If I am able to overcome a comfort zone this month, that will give me endless light, a real benefit, a real pleasure. Not in the moment. It will be a moment of pain, pinching, taking medicine. The mantra this month should be, break it, which means break this comfort zone. Break it. When you feel you're in a comfortable zone, or you feel something comes along, and it will this month, something comes along, and it's an opportunity for you to overcome something, what you should immediately say to yourself is, I gotta break this. I gotta break this comfort zone. I don't want to stay in this comfort zone. I want the real light, not the illusion of light that this month is providing because it's Taurus and Taurus is light and healing. The real light, the real healing that will last and lead to better and good and more blessing is when this month we are willing to overcome and break it. Again, meaning break the comfort zone. It has the capability to remove this stuck forever from our life. It has that potential, but we must be complete in our desire to overcome and our desire to break it. And that's the essence. That's the essence of what we want. Now, how do we get there? Well, we have the angel of this month, which will be in the tools in the download, which is the angel Netanel. In English, that would be like Nathaniel. It's also a person's name, but Netanel. Natan in Hebrew. And it's interesting. It's also in English, I believe. Nathan. No, well, not exactly. But in Hebrew, it is clear. It's, what do they call that when you, like dad, D-A-D, or Bob, B-O-B, it's the same backwards and forwards. Is that a palindrome or something like that? I think that's what. So in Hebrew, Natanel, Natan means to give. Noten, Natan, to give, giving. It's the same backwards and forwards. So when we truly give or let go, the opposite is going to come to us, right? Because letting go, sacrificing, breaking the comfort zone is the same as an action of sharing this month. It's an action of sharing. And this angel, this month, will help us do that. So you must use that name of the angel. Use the tools. Download it. Free from our website at rabbieabe.com. Okay? So this month is not just about feeling good, because you can feel good all month automatically, as we said. But when the challenges come, we need to understand how to rise above and break the comfort zone and overcome the challenge and do what needs to be done. Now, also, another tool for this month, you see the 72 names behind me. One of the 72 names, and again, you can download that, a healing download, which is also in our downloads, Mem He Shin. It's one of the 72 names, Mem He Shin, and this is for healing. This will be especially, how shall we say, activated this month, which will be the energy of healing itself, a direct connection to that energy of healing to open up the gates of healing. And this month, very important to practice sharing in an uncomfortable way. Anything we can do to overcome the comfort zone. Again, sharing, giving, helping someone else. Again, I don't feel like it. I'm tired. Go. Do it. Charity. Tithing. I don't know. It's hard for me to give. No, this month, this is the month. Start tithing. Start tithing. Tithe to your temple, your church, your mosque. Tithe here to Rabbi Abe platform. It'll help us bring more light to the world. But this is the month to begin to overcome those barriers that are holding us back and making us stuck. Always remember that every action of opening, and this means breaking the comfort zone, will lead us, it accesses us in not only to the area that I'm dealing with right now, it opens us up to other areas that we may be unaware of, but that we also need. That's why this appears in our life. So it's never only about the action that I'm doing right now. It's just like I said, I use the gym as an analogy. It's just like working out doesn't only make you stronger in the gym, does it? And it doesn't only affect your physical body, does it? It affects other things. It affects your mental state. It affects your confidence. You see what I'm saying? So sharing and breaking it in any area affects other areas of our life, which are also going to be very, very important to us. And, that's the gist of it. Remember the tools. The month is very comfortable as it is static. But we need to be dynamic. We need to move and not accept the comfort. Certainly not for free. The real comfort will come when? When I've overcome the comfort zone. That's when the real comfort comes. That's when self-confidence comes. That's when the good feeling comes. That's when earning comes. That's when feeling worthy comes. When we break the comfort zone. That's it for now, guys. Have an amazing month of Taurus. Be blessed, and I'll see you very soon in the next one. All the best.